company
Why are you doing coffee?
Yeah, so the company is Cheech's own coffee company.
Who's Cheech?
I'm Cheech.
You're Cheech.
Yeah. Just looking at me so weird.
I'm looking at it. I'm listening. You just posted something on Facebook, and I appreciate it, by the way. And I'm not sure if you were just like giving me a subliminal hint, like, here's a little good something for you to watch. And before the interview, so I was like, film. I read it, and I was like, all right, maybe he's trying to tell me something. Because I look to you, and we can get into how you and I connected more on a personal branding level. I'm gonna push him off the seat. Just kidding. So what were you saying? Back up.
So we're an organic coffee and tea company. I guess that's what it boils down to. But we have several products that we released, like cold brew coffee soap and mocktails and bartender blends for specific coffee concentrates.
How and where and what? Like that's a lot of information. And how do you start that?
Yeah, so I guess let's go back 2 years. Started drinking cold brew. I'm not going to drop the cold brew's name that I was drinking, but they're actually a New Jersey-based cafe chain, and really liked cold brew. Never had cold brew before. Thought that it was the best thing that I've ever tasted as far in the coffee. In the coffee realm, and as you guys might know, that cold brew coffee is lower in acidity. It's got a lot more natural sweetness and higher caffeine. So you get the best of both worlds. You don't get that like nasty taste in your mouth. You get more energy, and it actually hydrates you because there's a lot more water saturation involved. So kind of started doing that myself because I was like spending a lot of money at Starbucks on cold brew, probably about $100 a month. So just decided to make it at home, because if you go to Starbucks, and I'm not, bashing Starbucks at all, but they don't have an organic cold brew. They don't have a lot of organic options on their menu, and that to me, matters, right? So like,
but dude, nobody's coming home and saying, "Oh, I like this. This tastes good. I'm gonna go home and make it." Ever.
Probably not with cold brew.
I mean, with any product or anything. So and that's what inspired. Like that's what I want to get into the nuts and bolts of what made you and what's your mindset behind, like, I can do this better. I want to do it. I'm going to go home and buy some shit and I want to create it. That's wild. 99% of people are not going to do that, dude. So that alone is something that's different about you. But I'm not going to blow your head up too much, because you really won't be able to fit out the door on the way out. So
it's a small door.
It's all right, dude. You got a big head. Go ahead. Just kidding.
It wasn't really about trying to beat anybody's particular product in the market at that time, which there wasn't a lot. You had, Starbucks just came out with their cold brew, and I thought that the company that I had their cold brew first was kind of more pioneer. In my opinion.
They were definitely.
So you have all these other brands that do cold brew and stuff, and it wasn't about me being like, I can do this better. It was more about like, let me try to make it at home because I'm spending a lot of money on it, and let me use the best ingredients I can, because I do care about that stuff personally, and I have more control over it. So I grabbed a big 5-gallon jug of Poland Spring, and I got some organic single origin beans from a roaster that I'm personal friends with out in Pennsylvania, and I just started like sourcing and switching up the recipes and looking up guides and information on how to make cold brew, and eventually I felt like I came to a point where I was batching these brews that were better than anything I've ever tasted. So I had to share it with people, and that's kind of where Kyle came in, and we were like kind of just like, this is good cold brew.
Yeah. You guys are boys, right?
Yeah.
Friendly for how long?
Since high school. At this point.
High school.
Yeah,
that was like 4 years ago, folks. That was 4 years ago.
No, just kidding. We're both about to hit 30. We're all about to hit 30.
No, it's like 14 years ago.
Oh, shit, yeah. About 14, yeah.
Not 30 yet, and just turned 30, right?
Yeah.
By the way, side note. So, friendly for 12 years, and there's history before Cheech's Own with you guys, right? So if you guys are okay with talking about everything, we're going to talk about the partnership and how you guys are a part of this project together, right? All right, so you are the owner and founder.
Yeah.
You're Cheech. And what role does Kyle have in the business? And I guess we could turn the mic to you a little bit if you want to kind of chime in here.
I guess I'm the co-founder. Okay. I came into this company just for the free coffee. That's how he got me into it. He said, I need some help, and I'll give you free coffee out of it. So why not? I love coffee.
So you started helping him out, batch these. What are they called? Batch these. Or batch?
They're batches.
Yeah. They're batches.
Yeah.
Cool. So you start creating these batches together, and it was like
this. Spent a lot of time with batches. Yes.
Right. Perfect.
Batches for days.
Batch everything. So you created batches, and then
Batches everywhere.
what do you do? What do you do with that? At what point were you guys were like, this is something that we should, sell, or because your business model is different. You didn't just, I don't know how to create a product like that. My business is service based. So we offer a service, we get paid for it. You created a product. Well, you have a service-based business also, but you're creating something, and then what do you do with that something? Where do you sell it, and how do you pitch it, right? So, when did you guys decide that like we have something that we want to bring to market, so to speak?
Want me to take it?
Yeah, you can take it.
So I guess on the DL we were just giving cold brew at its at where we thought it was really at its finest, or at like a good recipe benchmark, and we started sharing with bartenders. We weren't like selling it, we were saying, what could you do with this? And that kind of sparked the interest, right? Like the local bartenders here in town, we have a really competitive bartending scene here, I feel like, and it's only going to get even more competitive. I mean, literally they compete. And
in this town, or
in this town,
with each other, or
dude, really.
Yeah, I mean, you see one restaurant,
Iron Shaker.
true.
Before you know it.
Well, they have the Iron Shaker competition. We'll step back. So the product, we felt like it was good. Kyle and I both loved it. Our friends loved it. They wanted more of it, so we decided to share it with other people and see if it was like commercial capabilities with it. And we found that the more we made, the more we had to make. So there was an event. It was Mike Prosky's event for Tapestries. Oktoberfest. And I went to Mike Prosky and I was like, hey man, we want to sell our coffee there. What we have to do, and we asked a couple people, and what it came down to is we had to form a company. We had to be doing all of our batches inside of a commercial kitchen. We had to be inspected by the local health inspector and the process authority, and we had to have a liability insurance and food liability insurance and all that stuff, which can be like a barrier for most people. But realistically, all together, all that stuff costs after pulling favors, less than $1,000. So now we have an LLC. We have the legitimate way to sell this product.
You're filling something, like people wanted it. It's not like you weren't guessing with that investment.
No.
You knew you'd be able to make it.
We bought a tablecloth and a table, and we went to the beer festival, and we sold.
Not this past November.
No, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was the event that kicked everything off, basically.
2016.
Yeah.
So
September.
Less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good time.
Yeah. So then that was 2016. So that event actually pushed you to go through all the legwork and make it official.
Yeah.
And then you went to that event, and obviously it was a success, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, we killed it. Yeah, we sold a lot of the coffee. Before that, we actually we don't really do anything half-assed. So we branded the company. We went through hundreds of logo variations.
Right?
We had bottles. We had the bottle as it stands today, finished, printed, ordered, mass quantities of it. So we had to sell this coffee at this point.
But that's the fun part, right? Like we're like, let's create something. Like those are the meetings that like I get caught up with, and I have too many of those meetings because I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. But you guys are like, no, this is great. We're gonna create it. This looks good. This looks good. No, I don't like it. You know what? I slept on it. I hate this. And you go back and forth and you create something, and that's when you look. It looks like you've been in business for 25 years. It looks like it's a franchisable brand. Brilliant. So I had a little outburst there. Let's go back. What were we talking about? The market and.
We started with the Oktoberfest.
That was it. And then all of last year, I seen you guys everywhere. You did every kind of event.
Yeah.
And you said that was your I guess an opportunity for you just to bring it to market. The booth
happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like an entertainment kind of feature you were talking about, right? So describe that. Obviously that's part of the branding, right? So we have this product. We know we're doing it. It's official. You guys right from the jump said, I'll give you shares in the company, or how did that work out? Like we have something here, and I know that could be a little weird conversation sometimes when you're talking to friends.
That was never expected, honestly, and that wasn't an initial conversation we really had.
We had like a handshake agreement that if this blew up, that we basically build a company together. And when I felt personally, like when I felt like it was at like a pivotal moment, which is when we wrote up the operational agreement with our lawyer, that's when I gave him, shares of the company. And
It's awesome.
Official.
And you've had businesses before, and we'll talk about that, right? But this is your first business that you're kind of
Second.
Okay.
Second. Yeah.
Were you with his first project?
One of his first projects.
Gotcha. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
That's like the grit, and that's why you're here today, and you're kind of like, you're excited about this. I feel just because of your road that you've been down.
Yeah.
First company at how old?
I was 21 years old, living in my mom's basement.
Love it, love it. Going to school, college?
No,
No
I was
problem.
working at AT&T selling cell phones to guys like you.
Perfect. What does that mean? Like me, bro?
Average people, small people.
Guys like you, this fucking guy.
People that have never been on MTV before.
All right, so you pitched it to somebody like me, some schmuck like me.
Yeah, I guess, some guy that walked into my job, I heard him talking about investing, and didn't do it while I was clocked in. I actually wound up opening that store the next day for the first time and wasn't clocked in yet, and he was waiting in line to get in there. So I asked him out to dinner and talked about my investment, my idea, which was called Promoverse.
You know, it's funny you call me, and when you call, it says Steve Chiocci Promoverse.
There it is.
When I
keep that.
I am. When I first met you, that's what your company was.
Yeah.
That's what you were doing.
Oh, that's when we were canvassing the towns and everything.
Yeah.
He had a small little business cards, and I met him. He was in Starbucks. He was all slick behind the computer, and he was doing his thing. I'm like, hey, Steve, what's up? And I was like, that cat's kind of cool. Like, he's onto something. And you had like the swag about you. And I knew that you just, well, just because I knew just conversations I've had with you, you're open-minded, you were what I call a thought leader. And you were just kind of like, you just had it, But anyway.
Yeah.
So Promoverse was your first company, and that was a what?
I guess the best way to just encapsulate it into one easy to understand thing was it was like Yelp with rewards.
So didn't work out, right?
Yeah,
lost money.
It worked great. It just the investor pulled out after a while because he wasn't really a tech-focused investor. He was a manufacturing investor and basically just a money guy. So he couldn't comprehend the freemium model of scaling a business like Facebook or Yelp was free forever.
But you got that.
There's no other way to do it.
No.
Like once you get out there and you start trying to sell somebody an app that they never heard of, they're just telling you to go screw themselves yourself. So like we had to switch. We tried selling it at first. There was just no other way. We had to prove to him, which actually completely destroyed what we wanted to do in the beginning. We had to like buy tablets and invent a redemption service for coupons and mess.
Well, that's consumer kind of, they let you know what they want. And if they're not letting you know what they want, now you're wasting your money.
Well, the thing with apps is like the turnover is huge too.
But you're going back how many years ago? We're talking
this is like at least like 6
13, 14, 2013?
Yeah, it was over 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean like that's how we ran back into each other.
That was
So that's what I was going to say. Like you were part of Promoverse?
Mm-hmm.
You were?
Yeah.
As an investor or?
No, not as an investor. I was just one of the guys behind the computers and one of the feet on the ground.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
To solicit businesses like yours.
And you guys like literally lived in a house, right? You were talking?
We all worked out of like a giant dining room.
My buddy and I rented a house.
Like desks and computers.
It was like like the social network.
Yeah,
I mean, there's really nothing like that happening
Yeah.
at the time in our area, but we basically rented a house and had like 6, 7 people in there every day. We were grinding it
I would go and pick up the people around this area and then bring them all up to the house and everything.
Yeah.
But like you shared a common vision and you really didn't care what it took. You were just going to dive in there.
Yeah, as long as we had enough money to put gas in the car and to eat, it didn't really matter.
Breakfast sandwiches and AeroPress coffee.
But you believed in it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what we're looking at right now. Like this, you believe in this product so much.
Well, that's the thing. When we weren't working in that dining room, we were working in cafes.
Gotcha.
And we would just hit all the different cafes in the areas, especially when we were trying to get them on our app. So it kind of worked out that way. But we always had that kind of common goal.
Did you pick up on like I want to open up a cafe?
Yeah, when we around the time of like Uber Motif and stuff, when we were really just like living in the cafes every day.
What did you like about it? I mean,
just the overall like atmosphere, the aromas, and I mean we both are huge fans of coffee, so free internet.
I think creativity when I think of coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like I just think of for whatever reason I think of going there and I kind of, maybe it's just because I'm like in my zone when I go there. If I'm not kind of running in and out for coffee, but I will be here when you guys finally open. Promise me that, or promise you that.
Yeah.
How's that phrase go?
I was gonna say, yeah. I don't think you promised yourself.
I don't fucking know. You do promise yourself, and that's kind of what you're doing right now. You're promising yourself. You're investing all this time, energy, and money, obviously, into this place right now. We don't have to talk about numbers, but how much have you done in here? Because this used to be Tea Leaf, or I think that's how we said it, right? Tea Leaf?
Something like that.
Tea shop. And I think
shop.
if there's one spot in Somerville that has your name all over it, it's this spot. I mean, Division Street.